Okay, so I'm gonna do a trade recap on my two trades I took today. This was them, but I'm gonna get rid of them quickly just to show you how I got them basically. So I was looking at ES and NQ. I came in, I marked my 930 out, which was there, and I had a bearish bias today on ES because I saw price came up here and has swept highs here, and I saw on this big range. Well, the reason I was bearish actually because on NQ, if we look here, on the 4 hour, the same 4 hour, we can see that this low here, this one, which I'll just mark out there, that low there got taken out with this candle at around 2 a.m. on Wednesday, yeah? If we go on the S&P, that's this candle here, and it hasn't been taken out yet, okay? Also, we go on NQ, and we mark out our EQ. Go up here to there. Price is tapped into it, or I guess we can go from this one, actually. Price has already tapped into EQ, and it took out these lows, and it was already in the EQ. So on Nasdaq, I was kind of looking for bullish trades on Nasdaq, but then if you look on ES and we draw our EQ from bottom of the daily to the top, we see it hasn't even touched it yet. So ES and NQ are in two total different areas. And I was more confident on ES going lower today, but my theory was basically I was bullish on NQ. I wanted it to go down here somewhere into OT and go up. So my theory was, or sweep these lows here, which it did, and then go up and break structure there. Which if it did that, I would have been trading bullish for the day. But as we can see, it was showing bearish confluences. We had it respecting EQ here, all the way just pretty bearish order flow, and then on ES, obviously I was looking for bearish trades, and I saw price. If I go on the 5 minute, I didn't really mark out any high time frame confluences because I didn't know yet if it was bearish or bullish. I just had this, and I also had this low here. Had this. Let me change this to white. That was all I had. So because we set liquidity and we were in a downtrend, I wanted to trade with the trend really. So I was mainly looking on ES. Anyways, coming into market, I was on the 5 minute, and I saw price came down first of all and swept liquidity here with this candle just in pre-market. Yeah, price then came up, respected this fair value gap. Yep. And swept liquidity here. What I wasn't sure of was if it was respecting this fair value gap, breaking structure, and then gonna go on an uptrend. Okay. So when I saw this big down candle, I was a bit like, ooh, there could be a trade. So I think this is where I started looking for trades from this liquidity sweep. We had a 5 minute break. I can't really remember my trade. We had a 5 minute break here, and I entered on that break because we had a rejection, 1 minute rejection, fair value gap up here. Because obviously price was respecting it, came down, disrespected it with this candle, broke 1 minute structure, and we rejected this 5 minute fair value gap with this candle. I think this was where I entered. I'll quickly get my trade up now, and I'll show you my trade. Okay, so this was my trade. My first trade. This was. We hit a. Oh, I didn't put. Oh, hang on. I accidentally took this line out. My first take profit, I think, was this fair value gap, or the end of this fair value gap. I think it was. Is that right? Should be a 1 to 1.3. I think it was 1 to 1.3, so it was literally there. So where would that take profit be? Might have been on a higher time frame fair value gap. Hourly fair value gap, was it? Sorry about this, just trying to figure out. Oh yes, there we go. So I think that was where my take profit was. Yes, that was my take profit was. I also had lower ones set down here. All the way to here was my last take profit. What we had was a sweep on this liquidity. We had a 5-minute fair value gap which got respected, came up, swept this 5-minute liquidity, which I like because it takes people selling out the market, or people buying out the market here, and then it takes people selling out the market here. So it swipes 2 pieces of liquidity out, and then this is the one we stick with, because we stick with the most recent liquidity sweep, yeah? So we sweep 5-minute liquidity. We then have a 1-minute fair value gap that got disrespected here with this candle, and it also broke 1-minute structure. We then had, and I was just eager to look for trades really, because that confirmed for me my bearish bias, because I just thought NQ was moving a bit choppy, and I thought if we swept liquidity, which we did, it would have been a bit more movement, and it was just choppy. So I was happy to look for trades now. So we had this 5-minute rejection fair value gap here, which it didn't quite reject, but because we broke 5-minute structure, I entered on the candle that broke 5-minute structure. So we have 5-minute structure here. We broke with that candle, so I entered in that, and we were close to finishing that there. So it was a bit risky entering here, but we ended having a big candle down and hitting my first take profit, which was nice. I then put my stops to break even, and then obviously got stopped out. But then I obviously had this 5-minute fair value gap up here, which I was looking to basically enter a second time, because I was going to put my stops to break even just to be safe. And if it did end up respecting this, I was going to try to look for another trade, which is it was more of a long-term trade. I knew it would be a long-term trade because my TP was so low. But I had 5-minute fair value gap. I then drew 5-minute EQ from the top of this movement here to the bottom of this movement. Price tapped into EQ after hit my break even, so I took 50% of my profits out. Price then hit my break even, and then hit EQ, tapped into the 5-minute fair value gap, and we had a 1-minute rejection fair value gap, which price was respecting nicely. It then disrespected it, so I entered on that candle that disrespected it. We had this one down here, but because I put my stops just lower this time, but I put them above the 5-minute fair value gap, and this time I put my take profits. This was my first TP, which was a 1 to 4.8, and obviously my last TPs are the same TPs here, which were EQ. So this will be a 1 to 3.7 if it hits, but obviously price has been moving slowly. I knew it would be anyway, because it's more of a long-term trade. But so far it's going well. So I'll probably post about it tomorrow, doing a market recap saying where this trade's gone. But yeah, so today back on winning ways with this trade anyway. If this hits my TP, then I'll put my stops to break even. But yeah, today's been a good day trading. A lot of people had a bullish bias today, but in my eyes, because this was so lagged compared, because we still haven't even touched this low here, which on NQ we've totally, it's this low here, we've totally demolished it. And because we've also tapped into EQ, S&P just seems like it, well, ES seems like it's lagging so much. So that's why I've entered there, and that's why I had a bearish bias. But yeah, I do think we'll come down to EQ. I even think I might let this trade run for a little bit if we do come down to EQ, depending on how long it takes. Leave it running a bit more, because NQ's ran down all the way here, and ES it's got a lot of catching up to do, really. Like, NQ really is down here, so yeah, I'll see. I'll keep an eye on this trade, see how it goes. Nearly hit my first TP, but yeah, they were both my trades today. Back on winning ways, and I will probably be trading tomorrow. I think this was news today, so news, nothing really happened, and I think tomorrow will be a very good day to trade. So yeah, back on it.